Hello, everyone of YouTube and my lit heads. Today I want to make a video also about something I saw recently about Yandere Simulator, and it makes me worried about the future of the game and the development as a whole, really. For those of you who are watching this and you don't know, I've been a big fan of Yandere Simulator pretty much ever since it first started, I would say. Like, really the only build I have not gotten to play was the first ever original build, where all the students was basically just a Yandere-chan but with blue hair, and that was it. Back then, all you could do was kill people by stabbing them, and that was it. That was all you could do. So that is the only build I have not played. I've been a fan of this series, the game, I mean, for, I would say, ever since, I think, 2014, so it's been a while. Anyway, my point is that, you know, I've tried to support Yandere Dev as much as I could by watching his development videos and, you know, playing the game and getting the newest builds, and I've even Let's Played Yandere Simulator, and I do plan on doing that again soon as well, because I've been wanting to go back and play it. And then I saw something. Yandere Dev not too long ago uploaded a video showing that he's finally made progress on getting the first official rival of the game, Osana Najimi, into Yandere Simulator. And the original video shows the newest illumination method that's going to come soon, which is if you go towards the rooftop of the school, you're going to see this giant air vent with some fan there, and you can get Yandere-chan to get a screwdriver, unscrew the top of the vent off, so then the fan is out in the open, and then you can take Osana's hair and shove it inside the fan and kill her, and then her head is, you know, essentially getting cut into shreds by the blades of the fan, and you hear this loud gushy noise as her blood is splattering everywhere, and that's it. It's kind of cool to look at, you know. It's kind of like when you watch a Saw movie or some other horror movie, you know. It's not like you're encouraging the behavior, you just think, oh, you know, it's fun to watch, you know, whatever, like a good old scary movie, and that's really it. But YouTube didn't think so. Turns out Yandere Dev had to upload this video again, but with that part censored. And the video that's censored, he actually shows that he covers it up with his appeal to YouTube, showing that, you know, he's trying to get that video back up. So that makes me think that YouTube maybe even took it down. I hope that's not the case, but the fact that he uploaded a censored version with his appeal on the video covering it up as, you know, the censor, that makes me think that maybe the original was taken down from YouTube for being so scary and gory, yet showing the fatalities from Mortal Kombat is fine, which is way more gory than Yandere Simulator. Showing how people die in Grand Theft Auto, which I've heard is also really gory too, it's totally fine as well. I mean, I never played Grand Theft Auto except for like maybe a few times, and that was really it. But it's been so long now that I don't really remember the gameplay that well. But anyway, all I know is that it is, you know, very intense and, you know, violent and stuff like that. So those games are okay on YouTube, but the moment Yandere Simulator does something super gory like this, it's bad. You see how that makes no sense at all? Now, some people were trying to argue, saying that, oh, it's because you're killing a bunch of kids or whatever, and well, that's technically not true. Despite how the video game models don't represent the age that well, in my opinion, these characters are supposed to be 18 years old. So, and even though this changes from culture to culture, at least in the US, 18 is considered an adult. I've heard in other countries that's not the case, like in the UK, for example, you're still considered a child at 18. You are not considered an adult until you're 20 years old. So, you know, depending on where you live, that's technically still a child, so yeah, I get that. But the point is that this is not supposed to be some game where you're running around killing a bunch of kids. This is just a psychopath teenager killing other young adults. You know, that's it. Not that that really validates it. I don't really see how making them 18 suddenly, that somehow makes it better. I mean, it's still committing murder, but whatever. My point is that this worries me because Yandere Simulator already got banned off of Twitch. You cannot play it. And I find that really annoying because then, if Yandere Simulator is starting to get into these issues on YouTube, then, how are you going to promote the game? How are you going to let's play it? I found out about Yandere Simulator through my best friend who played the game back during its very, very early builds where practically nobody knew about Yandere Simulator. And, that's why this game is so special to me. I found out about this game through him. I found out about it when basically almost nobody knew about this game at all. And then to watch it slowly bloom and, get more attention, get more recognition, seeing it, getting the attention and respect it deserves for, the amount of time and effort it takes to make this game, to make any game really. I thought that was cool to watch it slowly get more and more accepted. Because he also told me that, back when it was first being developed, like back during the earlier builds that he showed me, during that time, when people didn't really know about Yandere Simulator, the few that didn't like it. It was considered to be really scary and really disturbing because, you're a high school kid killing a bunch of other high school people. But for people to now look past that and just enjoy it for what it is, which is at the end of the day, it's just a game, I thought that was cool. So to see it rise and become this, thing that's getting now fan art and stuff like that, to now suddenly start being censored on YouTube, that's getting me worried. Because it's already gone through issues with YouTube before. Like how, I've seen other YouTubers let's play Yandere Simulator, and they have to start putting a logo over the characters, where their underwear is, because that's apparently bad on YouTube. And Yandere Dev himself even acknowledged that, and you can press a certain key to now make the underwear get cut off and be a black shadow on the model. So the game having to be censored already with the underwear. And now some of the elimination methods are going to be censored at this rate because of YouTube. Like, I really don't want Yandere Simulator to have to be toned down or have certain parts of it stripped away because of YouTube being stupid. And, that's the whole point of Yandere Simulator. Yandere Dev himself, even in the censored video, in the description says he does not encourage this behavior. He does not think anyone should imitate the behavior. He is not saying this behavior is, fun or good or anything. Yandere Dev, in an interview with one of my favorite YouTubers, Bijou Mike, even said that he made Yandere Simulator not to encourage that kind of behavior per se, but as a taboo game. He likes trying to make games that basically no one really makes. Whether it's because of society or, they don't feel comfortable with it or whatever. He likes trying to make games that no one's really tried making. That way, by default, what he makes is automatically going to stand out. Because, as far as I know, I've never heard of any game where you could play as a teenager, let alone an anime teenager, running around, killing people, trying to earn someone's affection. You're being a yandere. I've never seen that in the video game. Yeah, there's games like Grand Theft Auto where you can run around killing people. Or, God of War, killing people. Killing people is totally common in video games. But being an anime teenager who's a psychopath, running around killing people, trying to earn someone's affection at the same time, I think that's kind of interesting. It kind of reminds me, again, of Dexter. For those of you who have seen my Yandere Simulator Let's Play, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. I reference Dexter a lot when I play Yandere Simulator because it reminds me a lot of the character. Dexter, just like Yandere-chan, is a psychopath, but he, at one point, has a love interest, and he does try to get married to her, and he does get married to her, and she already had kids, if I remember right, and, he anyway becomes their sort of, father. So he, at that point, does have, I don't know, like, he sort of has affection. Like, there's this line I remember him saying, which was something like, "Why is it that I can kill without a second thought, Yet when I disappoint my wife, I feel like crap. And that kind of goes back to Yandere-chan and how she can kill without a second thought. It doesn't bother her. But yet when she's around, Taro Yamada, aka Senpai, she, feels her heart going fast. She feels, all flustered or whatever. She feels, feelings for this boy. This boy makes her happy. This boy makes her, not want to kill. He removes that impulse from her, because then you see her getting shy, cupping her hands together, she becomes a different person around him, and it's for the better. She's more shy, a bit more timid, but she's not a crazy psychopath at that moment. She does not want to kill people at that moment when she's with Senpai. And I like that about Yandere Simulator. Yeah, at the forefront, killing people is there. That's the main focus of the game. There are non-violence elimination methods too, but they're harder to do, they're harder to execute, and because of that, killing people, in my opinion, in the game is just the easiest and most efficient, in some cases, most efficient method. Some cases, no. It just depends on things like location, how many witnesses are there, and stuff like that. And if anything, this should, make Yandere Simulator more liked by YouTube. This is showing you right off the bat, that obviously killing is, not a good thing to do. But on top of that, how realistic it is. This is a really hard, pain-in-the-ass thing to do in real life, especially in a heavily populated area like a school. This is going to be really hard to get away with, and it just shows how tiring and tedious it is, just trying to get away with murder. So if anything, I think this would, this should make you to be like, hey, you know what, this game is cool. It's showing that not only is, not only is it showing you how screwed up a psychopath is, how, also interesting the psychology of it all is, but at the same time it's showing you realistically how hard it is to get away with murder, how tedious it is, how tiring it is, and just how it is, obviously on top of being bad, just a really, really obnoxious thing to do. So I like that about Yandere Simulator, and I don't want it to have to get censored and maybe even taken down from YouTube because of the content. If they're going after Yandere Dev now on YouTube, not just Twitch, this is a red flag to me. This is a warning sign that at this rate, if the elimination methods keep getting more and more gory and YouTube has a freaking meltdown over an anime game, yet Mortal Kombat's okay, which is way more gory, but whatever. So, if this scary anime game is too much for YouTube, what are we gonna do? I can't let's play it then on YouTube if YouTube's gonna have a little hissy fit over some blood. So, I'm concerned about the future of Yandere Simulator. I'm worried about Yandere Dev, because, what's the point? Like, if he's gonna do all this hard work, and then YouTube and other websites are gonna start trying to take down his game and force him to censor his game, what's the point? I want Yandere Simulator to be finished, I want him to complete his goal, but his way. I don't want a game to have to be toned down and censored because of censorship. I hate censorship, I really do. The only time I do not mind censorship is when you find a creative way around it. Like the TV show Avatar: The Last Airbender. That entire show is because of censorship. I watched a video documentary on that, long story short, and it turns out the, magical fighting with the elements, that's the censorship. So that way the violence is not, too intense and scary for the children. They made it magical and spiritual. They made it with the elements. Stuff like that. Or Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack was also a very violent show, but to censor the violence and, get creative with it, whenever Samurai Jack would kill robots, instead of, blood coming out, you would see their robot equivalent being oil splashing and splattering all over Samurai Jack's body. And I'm not overthinking it. The way this is blood is because even the robots sweat oil. You see, black oil coming off of them when they sweat and stuff like that. So I know we don't sweat blood, but you get my point. This is a liquid that is from their body. So That is the only time I do not mind censorship. If you get creative and you find a way around that. But I don't want Yandere Simulator to have to resort to that. So anyway, I'm just hoping for the best for Yandere Simulator. I hope it doesn't have to get censored. I really hope YouTube just does not have a little bitchy, whiny, hissy fit over the game and just allow Yandere Dev to do the illumination methods he wants to do, and that Yandere Simulator will have a future on YouTube for me and many other YouTubers to let's play. This is Lit and Fire going away, and I will see you all next time. Bye.